Welcome, everybody. Is there anybody here for the first time that's never been here before? If you could unmute and let us know you're here so we can welcome you.
I'm Karen, and I'm in North Carolina, and I'm new tonight.
Well, welcome, Karen. We're glad you're here. Very glad you're here. Is there anybody else new?
Hi, I'm Deb, and I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I did join you guys last week, but I joined in late, so I didn't want to disrupt the meeting. So here I am again for a second time.
Good. I'm glad to have you here, Deb. I'm glad you came back.
Thank you.
Anybody else new that's never been here before? Unmute yourself and say hello. Let us know you're here. Or how about, is there anybody that's been here before but you haven't introduced yourself yet because you've been shy?
It looks like Jacqueline.
Hi,
Are
Jacqueline.
you waving?
Hi, so didn't make it last week, and I don't think I've introduced myself here before. So I'm Jacqueline from Massachusetts, and I'm just starting out on the plan. And thank you so much for the hint about chamomile tea in the evening. It is a dream.
It's doing the trick for you?
It certainly is.
Good.
Making life much easier.
Good.
And I'm following you in making my salad right after I put together my breakfast.
Yep.
Because I hate making salads. I hate eating salad. So if I make it ahead of time and it's like going to a restaurant, then it's okay.
Oh, I don't like making a salad when I'm hungry. It takes I enjoy making it. I enjoy all the slicing and dicing, but I need to start it like a half an hour before dinner time.
Yeah, so that's what I'm finding is if I make it by mid-morning, then I'm good.
Yeah, good.
Just put it aside.
Yeah, good.
So that was a big help.
Good. I'm glad you're working it, Jacqueline. Very happy. Welcome.
Thank you.
Anybody else new? Helen.
Yes, I've been here. I was here for a long time, almost from the beginning, but I haven't been here for about maybe 2 months. I'm on the plan about 75-80%. I do drink a protein shake. I lost, I think it's like 86.5 pounds now.
Wow, good for you, Helen.
I'm glad. I'm doing good.
Good.
Yeah, I know I need to lose more, but it's working for me, and I'm very happy about it.
Good.
Very happy about it.
Stick with it. Stick with it. You're worth it.
Yes.
Yay.
So yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
We have Melissa.
Melissa, hi there.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi.
You're speaking up. Yay.
I'm one of those shy ones.
Yep, that's okay. But I'm glad you spoke up. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
I see you here every week. I see your name on the list every week.
Yes.
And I'm like, she's being shy. But not today.
Not today.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you spoke up, Melissa.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
I think we have another person too. Susan, were you trying to say in the chat?
I was
yourself?
So thank you. I've been quietly listening for maybe a couple of months now. And I ordered some of your stickers, Lulu, for my little weight journal.
Oh.
And they came yesterday, which was my birthday. And I opened my mailbox and there was what looked like a little package with your signature on it.
Oh.
And that was just really kind of cool.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
So thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you for all of the inspiration, that you provide to everybody and to everybody else that shares in this group, because this is a pretty awesome group of women. Y'all, as we say about down here in Oklahoma.
It sure is.
Yeah. So I'm really not shy. I'm just technologically challenged. And I hope to meet some of you all in person someday. That would be awesome.
Excellent. Thanks, Susan.
You're welcome.
All right.
Let's go.
Well, okie doke. Hello and welcome to Lulu's Way Healthy Food, Healthy Life. My name is Nicole and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be your host this evening. To keep this meeting free from distraction, we ask that all in attendance please mute yourselves unless you are speaking. We also ask that you keep the video mode turned off if you are doing anything other than sitting and participating in this meeting so that we can minimize distraction. In this community, we gather to support, encourage, and inspire on the benefits of nutrition, weight loss, wellness, and the joy that comes from choosing to serve yourself well. We are not medically trained, nor do we have formal training in nutrition. We come together here for the sole purpose of providing support, sharing experiences, and promoting a healthy lifestyle. It may be wise to check with your healthcare professional with any dietary suggestions or advice you receive from this group discussion, particularly if you have health challenges. Individuals in this group may have different ideas on how to eat healthy. Just figure out what works best for you and do it your way. Our meeting format involves rotating through a series of important topics focusing on the needs and interests of our members. These topics include food preparation, motivation, meal ideas, traveling, socializing, challenges, non-scale victories, maintenance, and general Q&A. We will fully explore one topic before moving on to the next, continuing this rotation until the meeting concludes. The following week, we'll resume with the topic where we left off. And this week, we are spinning the wheel back to the beginning, which is food preparation, which we are all up to our eyeballs in every day, I hope.
Yeah.
And loving it. So food preparation is the kickoff topic.
Okay, food preparation. You know, you can hate it or love it, or I guess you can just be indifferent with it. But I think most people either they just do not enjoy it or they thoroughly enjoy it, one or the other. That's my experience. I just really love it. I really enjoy it. You know, in the van, like this morning, I was like, okay, I needed to cook some veg, and I needed to cook some protein, and because I wouldn't have had enough at lunch. So yesterday at Whole Foods, I got a huge head of like the brightest white cauliflower. Like it was like just so fresh and beautiful. You know when it's like bright white, like not a hint of like black specks on it at all. And it was huge, and it was just really firm. I was like, this is just going to be so delicious. So, you know, I got this like whole head of cauliflower on my lap, you know, and I'm trying to slice through it, and it's, you know, so it got a little messy, but, you know, I just put it all in the Instant Pot. It didn't even all fit. And then I just put the rest of it, there was a little bit left, I put it in this little zip bag, and I'll just dice it up really tiny and put it in the salad. I mean, I'm not crazy about raw cauliflower. But, you know, I just got that steam. While that was steaming, I got the pan out. Actually, the pan was already out from breakfast. I just wiped it out. And then I cooked a ribeye steak and got that all fixed. And then I just put everything in the cooling bags and got in the driver's seat, and off I went. And everything cooled off while I was driving. I love what it does for me. So I think that's why I love it, and I don't want to complain about it. You know when something's just like a gift, and like then you can find yourself complaining about it. I mean, not just food, but just things in general. You know, it's just like, you know something. I'm just not going to complain about this, because it's just what's making everything in my life work really well. You know, it's just this is where it all starts for me, because if I'm not disciplined like this, if I'm not prepared for this, and if I fail at this because I'm not prepared, you know, I'm screwed. Preparing is not just cooking and having things ready. That's one way to food prep. Another way I food prep is, you know, to make sure that I always taking inventory, even when I'm in my own world, in my van or at home. I take a daily inventory. What do I have? What do I need to cook? What do I need to get? You know, this is what I need to get. This is what I need to have ready by lunch. Now I know I have, like, when I took out my sweet potato tonight for dinner, there was a little bit left in the zip bag, and I thought, oh, I wonder if this is enough for lunch. So I just threw that on the scale, and it did weigh more than 4 ounces. So I knew that that was going to be enough for lunch. So when I have to cook more, I could do it I could do it tonight, I could do it tomorrow morning, or I could do it tomorrow afternoon. But I needed to know whether I wanted to know now whether I needed to do it in the morning. Like I just need to know my options. I want to know what I have and that I'm going to have what I need. It's just way too important to me because, it's the reason that I feel as good as I feel. And I know those of you that are doing it, I know you know what I'm talking about. It feels too good. And it's not a lot of work. It's a lot of work to be miserable, to have a miserable, depressing life, be uncomfortable, disappointed in myself because I'm failing again and trying and failing again and starting another fad diet, all that stuff. That's hard. Putting a salad together is not hard. That's hard, It takes time, but usually anything worthwhile takes time. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Anyway, food prep, vacation prep, preparing, always.
Yep, join Lulu's way and you're a prepper.
Yeah.
Well, I can echo a lot of those same sentiments. So, yeah, I was just going to share, even though I confessed before the meeting started who's doing my food prep today.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have a food prepper.
But just today.
Oh, yeah.
It took a lot for me to say, I need help, because I think he probably has better things he wants to do, and I don't like to impose. But I actually like chopping and prepping fresh foods. It just reminds me of a lot of time I spent in my grandma's kitchens, peeling potatoes, snipping beans, and chopping apples. So I do love that. But I would say the key to food prep when you look at the food plan is just to be prepared and to be stocked up. And, I'm just one person eating this way. My husband eats a lot of this food too. But if you look at my cupboards, it sort of looks like we're about to, go through a long winter with no method of getting out of here. In that, I have a lot of things like rice cakes that I order from Lundberg's, a carton. I have a lot of dried beans. I have lentils. I have roasted edamame. I have nuts. I have jarred beets. I have canned green beans, even though they're not my favorite. They're organic canned green beans I found at Walmart, and I have like a dozen cans of those in case I'm ever in a pinch and I need my veggies. I have some frozen things that I like rice cauliflower and broccoli. Again, those aren't always my favorite. I'd rather have fresh, but I know they're stocked up in my freezer if I'm running low on time. I even in the summertime here, I've been flash freezing individual trays of strawberries because they just taste so good. And then I can put them in my oatmeal after they've thawed. And yes, they're a little waterier, but I have a bunch of, stacks of strawberries and blueberries and even grapes I freeze. And when they thaw, they get, like I said, they get a little mushy, and when they're in my oatmeal, they're just delicious. So, and I have dehydrated fruits, like dehydrated organic mango and coconut. So I am stocked up on everything that can be kept, that isn't fresh, so that it's never going to happen to me where I'll be like, oh no, there's nothing. I can always find it here at home if I need it, or I need to throw it in a bag because I have to go somewhere quick. And that just is my priority. And then I work through, I don't want that stuff to sit there forever, so then I think, I'll incorporate a few of the cans this month, and get some new ones, that kind of thing. I do that too, but that stock that I probably don't really need to have gives me a lot of reassurance that I can throw together these kinds of meals for a week and not have any worry about I don't have time to get to the store. So I kind of recommend that. And then if you eat dairy, I don't eat a lot of dairy, but I have mozzarella cheese sticks, so that's another source of protein. I buy my eggs 3 cartons at a time because my husband also eats eggs. So I think it looks like probably a family of 8 lives here. But that's kind of what I do to stay prepped, because I don't have a lot of time to run around like, oh, I got to go to the store again. I go once a week. And then I usually go, either me or my husband will run out one other time for some fresh things. So that's kind of what I do. And then, I do tend to concentrate on the fresh things, and I prep them like in batches. So, I'll do steamed carrots, and I'll do a cabbage in the Instant Pot, and that will last me for like 3 days of dinners, and I might add some fresh green beans to that. But I just know I've got about a few days worth of food, instead of like waking up every morning going, uh-oh, what's today? I usually know like in 3 days I got to do this again, so I'll be ready for the next 3 days. So that's kind of the routine that I've been running lately, and it works for me, and I really like it. And I will just say this. So this is sort of like a non-scale victory thought that I had this past week, because it just struck me that I was out. I have, I think I've told a lot of I have like a foot problem, and I've been having trouble with my back. So I have like these ailments. But I've been walking our dog like 2 or 3 times a day, and it's really pretty easy for me now, unless I'm having a problem, like a critical, like, ooh, that just hurt kind of thing. But I just realized like how much energy I have to walk the dog, whereas before that was really hard, and I almost even thought about hiring a dog walker, because I thought this is not fair if Ron can't do it and I can't, if she needs her walks kind of thing, and when we had more dogs. But just how, like, my body is my friend now. Like, it's not this thing I'm lugging around, struggling with, hating. Like when I've been treating my body right, it's like my body is suddenly my friend, and it's healing, and it's giving me energy and happiness. And I just walk around like, I can't even believe this isn't hard, and I'm not sweating, and I'm not counting the seconds till I can get home and say, oh, that's over. I love it, and I want to keep going. And that just is weird for me, because, it's not been that long that I've had those feelings. So I just realized like this vessel is my vehicle for a living, and it just is my friend now, and feels so much better. So it kind of makes, like food prep isn't really like a chore for me, outside of like that it's constant, and I need to prioritize the time for it, and I do. I don't hate it, or some people just don't like to be in the kitchen, but the gift it gives my body is just, I can't even put a price on that. So I just want to mention that. So I'm excited to hear if you have favorites, even like if you have favorites that you like to make, or you like to stock up on, or even favorite recipes, or if you want to share any lessons learned from maybe not being prepared. I often think like when something happens where you're like, uh-oh, this didn't feel good, like that, to me, that's a good time to say, what can I do so I can like negate that in the future? Whatever it may be, and maybe we all can offer tips if anyone is struggling with food prep.
Yeah, and keeping an eye on things that are spoiling, like you want to keep your eye on that stuff, and you don't want to, I always keep like dried fruit. It's not my number one choice. I'd rather have a nice big piece of fresh fruit, but I always have the dry fruit there, because once in a while you go for the strawberries, and it's just like overnight, they're all fur. They all got white fur on them. I'm like, well, that happened really quick, and I was counting on it, so at least I always have that backup, But speaking about having energy, and, just your body being your friend and just having energy, here's a quick funny story. Is that little girl Maisie that I was over with her? So her and I were dancing to Taylor Swift, right? So we're dancing and we're skipping everywhere and having fun. And so she says to me, she's like, Lulu, I need a rest.
You wore her out?
She's 7. I was like, the 7-year-old can't keep up with me. I was like, you'd never make it at one of my meetups, little girl. Because I go for about 3 hours. I don't stop. Well, not just me. A lot of us don't stop. A lot of us keep going. But yeah, she's like, I need to. We were skipping around, and then would skip around again. And then the third time she was following me, she was about 10 feet behind me instead of right with me. I saw it in the video. I was like, that was when she told me, I need a rest. I was like, okay, all right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wearing out the little ones.
Wearing out the little ones. It's good food. That's what good food will do for you, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, well, we've got some hands up, and I know how to read them in order now that I've been trained. So we'll start with Peggy.
How you doing?
Hi, Peggy.
How's everybody doing? Thanks for all the advice. I take it, but I can go shopping for the food. I can look at it, say, oh, this looks nice. I can see it on the plate. But by the time I get home, it's Joe that's preparing it. So needless to say, I'm grateful for my husband because he'll chop it, dice it, cook it. He'll do everything. All I do is help him weigh it because I know how much it's supposed to weigh out. And then I put it in the dish and put a lid on it and find room in the refrigerator for it. But I don't like the prepping, but at least I can say I'm eating it. So that's 10 steps forward, and
good.
He's doing a good job.
And he must enjoy it. He's doing it because he enjoys it. Yeah.
He loves it. You know, every morning he'll get up and he'll say, okay, what am I making for you today? And I'll say, oh, it's okay. It's okay. I still have, so he was doing it yesterday, getting it all ready for a couple of days ahead. So
he's happy that he's happy that you're eating well, and he's helping you facilitate that.
That's it. 100%. I mean, this is possible because he's supportive. So
well, good.
Yeah. So that's
Thanks,
I just wanted to share that.
Thanks, Joe.
He can't hear you. He's making sure he doesn't interrupt. We're like 10 feet apart, but I'll tell him he said thanks.
Okay.
Thank
you, Peggy.
Thanks, Peggy.
Okay, next we have Pam.
Hey, Pam.
Hi. Okay, with actually I did a lot of this week because I had that big giant squash that was like looming over my head. It was 3 feet long.
Where did you get that? Where did you get
my sister's friend grew it in her garden. That's the second one I got.
Wow.
I have never seen such a squash.
No, it's some Italian squash. It didn't do a lot for me. Like I wouldn't look for it to buy it, but I got this giant thing that was free, and so I made a soup with it this week. And a big part of prepping for me is to have soup in the freezer that is compliant for me. Even if when I have to take it out, I usually will pack it away in like pint containers, and I'll weigh the veggies. Like I'll strain it from the broth. It might not be a perfect weight, but when I'm sick, because I have different issues that sometimes I get stomach things, and I have to just eat soups for a day or half a day or whatever. So that's a big, because otherwise I'll go to the canned stuff and those aren't nearly as good. So prepping for me is I always have to have either my chicken soup or a vegetable soup or both in the freezer. So just because I know I get different issues that require me to eat soup. Wait a minute, I made a mess on my screen. So that's an important prep for me. And I wasn't even planning on eating it now. I just knew it was for the freezer. And I'm like you, Nicole, and I do check my dates and rotate everything, but I have a little closet and I have to have all these things just in case there's a big snowstorm and I'm not going to get out for a month. But I don't want to be caught short, and I feel like as long as I know I have it, then I have no excuse to not do it. And it just gives me that peace of mind. But all vegetable soups in the freezer really help me a lot to be prepared for unexpected things that come up. So that might help someone if they know they get colds or things, and and they like soups. Have them ready. Then you just have them in the freezer.
Yeah, that makes me think of even just like frozen, like if you had like a 16-ounce bag of frozen broccoli and you defrosted it and then put it like in the blender with some chicken stock or vegetable stock, and then you've got cream of broccoli soup.
Yeah, I do that with cauliflower a lot.
Yeah.
Like, because then I will, when I cut up the head, like you said, I've cut up the florets off. I freeze the stalk and all the leaves.
Yeah.
I throw them in the freezer, and then when I have accumulation of things, I throw them in a pot and boil them up and season it up, and then I use my immersion blender.
Oh, good.
So you're utilizing a lot more of the vegetables.
Right.
And I always I have a bag in my freezer now with onions, green peppers, and a thing of the cauliflower, just waiting for the next time. So
good.
That helps me to know I have what I need.
Yeah. And then you can take that creamy cauliflower soup, and then you can put cubed up chicken in it. You could put your 4 ounces of rice in it, or potatoes.
Right.
You could even put the potatoes in the blender too, make it more of a thick stuff.
It helps thicken it, but
put you can put your tablespoon of oil in that, and that's a big ass bowl of soup.
Yeah. So just having it ready at all times. There's always at least 1 or 2 pints of soup in my freezer for those times.
That's good. Great.
That was it.
Good tips, Pam.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, thanks, Pam. Next we have Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
The other Nicole.
I love this topic because I have found that when I'm going to struggle the most is when I'm not prepared. And I mean, I had that happen this week where I knew I needed to make vegetables. I had them, and I was running errands, and it ended up taking longer than I thought. Got home, still had to cook the vegetables, and it just ended up being like I ate my protein because I was like, I need to eat something because I'm so hungry right now. So I ate the protein portion, and then the just process of making all the vegetables took a long time. And I posted the picture on Facebook of all the things I made. And so then I did end up having carrots and hummus, and I didn't weigh them, and I was just like, I just need to eat something. And then I got back on for dinner. So then I'm going to struggle is when I don't have things ready. I've done this for a lot of years, that prepping is the way to go, but it's just like getting into the routine of doing it. And then once you're in the routine of doing it, it makes everything so much smoother. Something's going to be hard. What do you want to be hard? Do you want it to be, prepping your food, or do you want it to be like starving and then eating things that you don't want to be eating? So I thought of that. And then I went camping last weekend, and this is the first time ever that because I wasn't going for like when I went to Alaska, which like I needed to have things constantly and buy more things and whatnot. This was just 2 nights. And so I weighed everything except for like the oil and seasonings that I was going to put on, and I took my scale with me for that. But I had everything weighed out ahead of time, packaged up, so all I had to do was get it out. And I didn't even end up heating up my lunch and dinner because I was just like, I'm hungry and I don't feel like getting my stove out, but it's already all together. Put my oil on, put my seasonings on. And it didn't take anything past what I needed for the meals. And it was amazing. Like it worked so smoothly. And I wasn't tempted by the junk food that my cousin had brought because I had my stuff to eat, but it was only because I was prepared.
Yeah.
So.
You were very prepared for that. That was great.
That's what I've got.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes I don't want to do the prep, but when I don't do the prep, then I struggle more than the actual doing of the prep.
Yeah.
And I find it's helpful to just do a bunch at once.
Yes.
Then I can just be assembling meals for
few days.
3-4 days.
Yeah. So the key is that situation that you got yourself into, that prep cooking needed to really be done the day before. You were just a day late.
It did, yeah. And I had bought everything the day before, and then, life, kids, I got busy, just didn't take the time when I should have just taken the time. And I think I didn't quite estimate. I thought I had a little bit more still in the fridge than I did.
Yeah.
So,
Now that would be where the canned goods would come in handy, like Nicole's saying she's got all the green beans. I usually keep a can of beets and a can of artichoke hearts and a can of hearts of parm. Those are kind of my canned good things. So, I could open those 3 cans and I could get a meal out of it, but that would be just to hold me over to go get the real stuff. Yeah.
So,
well, good. Well, good. I'm glad you're on track and doing good, Nicole.
Oh,
very good.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yay.
Yeah, it's super. And you know what, Nicole? I was wondering if you would tell, Nicole has sent me a couple pictures of her oatmeal, and I just think it looks like the most beautiful oatmeal you ever did see in the whole wide world. So maybe if you haven't, you could post a picture of it on Facebook. But if you would just share how you make your oatmeal, because I think it looks like, just like Chef did it.
Well, thank you. So I found with oatmeal that it's really helpful to me when I am getting all the things out that I put in it. I just make up like a whole week's amount and put each serving in containers and then put it back in the fridge. And then I cook the one that I'm having that day, because I'm more likely to do it if all I have to do is get it out of the fridge, dump it in the pot. And so that's kind of my prep for the oatmeal. And then sometimes I eat like eggs in between. I don't necessarily eat it every day, but it's all ready for me. And so it's 2 ounces of the dried oats. It's 2 ounces of nuts and seeds. So I do a tablespoon of chia seeds, a tablespoon of hemp hearts, a tablespoon of pumpkin seed, like raw pumpkin seeds. And then I make up the rest of the 2 ounces with pecans that I crumble up. And so that all of that just goes in the fridge in containers, and then I get it out, I dump it in the pot, stick the pot on my scale, and I add whatever fruit I'm going to put in it. So right now I've been doing a mixture of berries because that's what I happen to have. Sometimes it's like a really ripe banana, and then I make up to 6 ounces because usually my banana is really small, and so I make up the amount with like blueberries, so it's like banana and blueberry. So just whatever the fruit's going to be. And then I measure water. Nicole wanted to know how much water, and I was like, I measure with my heart. That looks good. Sometimes I have to add more. Sometimes it ends up a little runnier, but I just put water in. And then I cook it with the fruit, and then I add salt and cinnamon. Oh. And it makes it a really pretty color because the fruit kind of breaks down a little bit.
Oh. And you cook it with the nuts and seeds and everything in it too.
Yeah, just everything all together. Yeah. And it doesn't make them mushy or anything. Yeah. I mean, the fruit gets mushy, but the nuts and seeds are still fine. Yeah. And it's really good, and it's really easy. It's really quick when I don't want to be. Yeah. I'm hungry and I want to eat something.
Very good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Next we have Candace.
Hey, Candace.
Hi, everybody. I got a couple of things, just a hint. I have always cooked in the large Instapot, and I'm getting ready to go camping, and I bought myself the little 3-quart Instapot, and what I found was it cooks a lot faster. Even I have to lower the time, I guess because it's smaller, and it comes to pressure faster. It's a much newer one too, so just if you're going from a large one down to a 3-quart one, just be aware of that. The other thing is, on the first weekend in October for 5 days, I'm going camping in my RV, which I've owned for a year and have never, other than just going and sitting in it in the storage yard, I've never been out camping in it. My daughter and her husband, who are experienced RVers, and their daughter will be going with me.
And so I don't have to worry about how to turn this off and on, how to hook this up and take it off, because I'm there to learn so that I can go by myself in it. But my son-in-law will be guiding me along the way. The problem is my daughter and her family eat junk. They eat a lot of meat. I'm eating very little protein at this point. Animal protein. I eat a lot of vegan protein, but just prepping, I'm just a nervous wreck. And she's saying, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll be close to town. We'll just go eat. We'll go to restaurants and eat." And I'm thinking, no, you can go to a restaurant and eat. I'm going to have to try to figure out how to either cook my own meals, have the stuff all prepped, or have meals that can be expanded into meals that they would enjoy too. For mine, maybe a rice and bean dish that they can add steak to or something. So it's got me kind of, two things. One, just going camping on this and trying to learn. It's a hybrid, so it has the bunk ends that lay down, and I don't have to lay them down if I were by myself. I could be in the one, but I need to know, can I lay these down and then pick them back up? But I'm good on this program, and I've been doing this for a long time, and I know how to prepare all my meals, but I'm also being responsible for their meals. So trying to figure out what I want to eat, how I want to prep it. I freeze stuff, and then I can take it out of the freezer and put it in the fridge in the RV when we get there. There's just a lot of things that, and I've planned this trip. This is the 4th year that I've signed up. It's a Wonder Woman rendezvous trip at a county up above me, and it's going to be 5 days on this river. And every year I sign up for it. And then I get down to like the week or two before, and I start panicking and I cancel. Oh, I said this year I'm going to go, even if I have to go in my tent. I'm taking my tent, or if I have to sleep in my car, I'm going to go. But again, just, has anyone noticed, like, if you're prepping, I know, Lulu, when you're prepping for your trips in your van and your, things you do camping, is there any really big difference in how you go about that? Or do you still prep individual meals, or more of the bigger containers of things and then measure? Or?
Well, when I'm leaving on a trip, I'll do some prep cooking in my kitchen at home, and then just take all separate containers of all things that are cooked. But it's only going to get me for the first few days. If I'm gone for 6 months, it's just like, it doesn't really matter whether I do that or not. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to be in a situation where I need to prepare things. But are you going to be in separate rigs, or are they all coming in your rig?
They're coming in our rig. My daughter and her daughter, myself, will sleep inside, and we're putting her husband out in a tent. But
yeah,
I need him there because he's going to tow it up there for me and bring it home too.
Yeah, and who decided that you were going to be in charge of all the food, or is that just the way it goes?
Well, I'm not really, but
because I'm wondering if you're assuming that if you're assuming that responsibility, like maybe you don't really need to. Maybe you can just say, something, I'm really on a plan for my health. This is like really important to my health. This is what I want to eat. And I know you guys don't want to eat this food. So how about if we just get separate stuff? How about if we go shopping? I'll get what I need, and then we get what you need. And if you feel like you owe them because they're doing you this favor, then maybe pay for the food, Just say, I'll pay for the food, but I'm just going to I'm just trying to figure out, it's a lot of work for me to figure out all these veggies I need to cook for myself and all the stuff I'm doing, and it's just really, really important to me. Would you mind, like, if we just maybe side by side, you prepare your things and I'll prepare my things, and we can eat together? Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, I think so. And and she for her to say, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll just go to town and go to a restaurant or go get something to eat,"
and let them go.
That's her way of taking the pressure off of me, but it actually puts more pressure on me.
Yeah,
because now I'm in restaurants where I can't eat.
Right. So, does that mean if you're going to go to a restaurant, does that mean you all have to be in the rig and go to the restaurant?
No.
You're going to have a car
No,
too? You'll have a car too?
Yeah, we'll have a couple of cars there, so they can go with
Yeah,
that.
they can go. And then you can get some alone time. And then you get some alone time, and then you get out your things, and you're figuring out your rig, and you're going to say, okay, I'm not used to this place. You use that time to get used to all your stuff and get really comfortable with your rig and start using it.
Yeah.
That's my suggestion, because it's really not that, insulting to people to say, I'm not going to serve you for 4 days. Like, it's really not that unreasonable to just say, like, because who's going to argue with the fact that, you're making these changes for yourself to better yourself, not just about losing weight and looking better. And it's we're all working on our health too, just to say, like, I really want to just get healthier, stay healthy. And it's just really important to me. I know it's crazy, but this is what I want to do.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad in the beginning. My daughter said she was going to go with me, and her husband would just pull it up and then come back when we're ready to go and, take it home after, set it up and tear it down. But then she started, well, he'll stay. And then her daughter is an adult, she's 22 and she's going to stay. And it just got to be this bigger crowd. And I was looking forward to this kind of quiet, reading, maybe typing, writing a little. And it's turned into a party.
Yeah.
And so,
something
I'm going to go with it because I want the information of how to do my RV. But next time, I'm going to go along.
Yeah. So it's all adults. I thought maybe there were kids. So there's not even kids. These are all adults. Yeah, they can.
No, she's 20. My granddaughter's 22, and my kids are in their 50s.
So this vision that you had of, just some quiet time to read or whatever, do that when they're at the restaurants.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I won't panic. I'm gonna try to let go of the panic feeling I'm feeling right now.
You can just have a talk with her ahead of time and just say, this is what I'm thinking. Tell me if this works for you.
Okay.
If we go shopping together and fill up the fridge in the RV with foods that we all want, and then, maybe they won't get a lot because they'll get theirs at a restaurant, and they'll just get maybe breakfast things. They'll get some bagels and cream cheese and whatever. You said they eat a lot of junk, you said?
Yeah, they'll eat a lot of junk. They'll do the hamburger, hot dog, typical kind of camping food.
Yeah.
And that won't bother me that they're eating it at all because I have no taste for it anymore. But I guess it's hard when you're the mom of the group to let go of that responsibility. And like I said, my daughter's 58. Her husband's a couple years younger. They're adults.
Yeah, they're good.
They're wonderful cooks. They cook wonderful food. They can make their own food. But
when I cook for my kids,
when I cook for some of it.
Yeah, when I cook for my kids, it's just a rarity. And I mean, I live in that house. I'm not about to be cooking for everybody. That would just be strange. Plus, they don't want what I eat, and I don't want. Yeah. Why would I ever spend my life trying to figure out what these adults want to eat when everybody can figure it out themselves? It's not even like screw you, do it yourself. It's just like you can do it yourself. Like you can, they can do it themselves.
Thanks.
Yeah. And like if you feel like I said, if you feel like you owe them something, just say, let me get the groceries. Let me just get them for you. I really appreciate it, and then we'll just all have what we need. And then, maybe the meal times won't work out at the same times. If you're hungry at 5 o'clock and they're not eating until 7, so just eat at 5 o'clock. And then when they're eating, just sit in the chair. You got nothing to do, or you can help them. Just say, is there anything I can help you with? Instead of you doing it, you could be the helper if it worked out, Try it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for pulling me down off the wall. I've been...
Yeah, it's really not that, it's really not that big of a deal. I know, like, you're a mom, but she's a mom too. You know what I mean? She's a mom too. So, and I'm sure that 22-year-old can cook for herself.
She can cook and she can drink a fair amount too, so I'm sure they'll have the full bar. And I'll just go to bed. Let them party all night.
There you go.
And she may end up bringing a friend. I don't know. You know, at this point, I'm kind of just,
Yeah.
well, we've got a tent. Whoever can't fit in the RV will sleep in the tent.
And like I said, the you know, a nice part of the day might be when they all get in the car and go drinking and eating ribs and French fries, you know, and then you just have your quiet time and do some prep cooking and take your inventory and see what you need to cook and what you need to get ready for. Candace.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
Can't wait to hear afterwards too, the debrief.
Yeah, when is this? When is this again?
It will be the 2nd through the 6th of October.
Oh, okay.
First week in October.
Well, I'm glad that you're thinking about it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
That's prep. That's prep right there. That's prep.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I've kind of found with some of my Healthy Life sisters that thinking through an upcoming event or situation, like every single step of it is just really helpful so that you come out on the other side, you know, with a win for yourself, doing what you wanted to do. You know, every step of it, like, you know, the packing day, this day, so that you're not caught unaware. So, yeah, good job pre-thinking it so far in advance.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Pam, we have Pam again.
Pam has some more thoughts.
I have a thought. I think I heard Candace also ask about prepping her food, and I know I've only camped for like 4 days or 5 days, but I did do it all different ways, like bringing the scale, bringing all the raw ingredients, and also then as I got a little smarter, I found that prep cooking for like 2 weeks and portioning out 8 ounces of cooked carrots in a bag and writing on it 8 ounces of cooked carrots and freezing it, and having all these individual different size 4, 6, 8 whatever ounces of different veggies and proteins all pre-frozen, pre-measured was such a delight when I was camping, rather than the whole pulling out the whole everything and going from start to finish. So that could help you, is to prep pre-cooked and then freeze, and then it defrosted as I went, but that might help take some of that pressure off too. As you know, you just have to pull and warm up.
But you know, we all do it. We all do it different. Like I don't mind. Like I don't mind pulling the stuff out and doing it. I actually look forward to it. It's like it's just part of the camping experience. Just like people are out there with the marshmallows on the fire, right? It's just all part of the experience. For me, it's like I'm gonna go in and make my salad. I love having all my doors open, and you know, just doing all my slicing and dicing. But you know, usually when I'm gonna go on like if I'm local and I'm going say to my meetup for 3 days, right? Because most of the traveling I do, I'm gone for a while. So, but if I'm going to be gone for 3 days, I will have like those brilliant Rubbermaid Brilliance containers. I'll have one filled with cooked veggies. I'll have one filled with cooked sweet potatoes, and I'll have one filled with cooked protein. And then I just stack them in the cooler. And plus, I have other things because I don't know if that's going to last me the 3 days. And I just have other things too. That I might have to cook, but I just see as I go along and I take my inventory, you know. And then what I do, I think I've said it before, either in a video or on here, is, you know, when I'm in a meetup, I'm going to have a busy day, you know. So maybe you're going to have a busy day with all these people and you don't know exactly how it's going to go. What I do first thing is I make my breakfast, eat my breakfast, then I put my lunch together, weigh and measure everything, put my dinner together, weigh and measure everything, put those 2 containers in the cooler, put the lid on, I'm all set. So when it's time to eat lunch, I come and grab the container. When it's time to eat dinner, I come and grab the container. I just do that every morning when I'm because I'm very, very busy at my meetups. You know, I have a very tight schedule. And so, you know, that works too. You could just do it all in the morning, or you could do it all when you have a moment. You know, when you have the time. Like if they are all out to dinner, you could say, oh, let me put my breakfast together, like what Nicole was talking about. Like You could put your oatmeal and nuts and everything together, whatever. Maybe I'll put my salad together for tomorrow's lunch, and then it's just you can prepare that way. Whenever you have moments of time. Or you can just, if you really want to be as free as a bird, like Pam, then you just have everything weighed and measured, and you just, boom, you got it. Before you leave the house, you could do that. So there's all kinds of ways to do it. You'll figure it out. And then, hopefully you use it and you really enjoy using it, and you come to one of my meetups in it one of these days.
It's good to have a goal. Good goal like that.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for all these suggestions. There's some good ones. I appreciate it. I just wanted to chime in that, Lulu, when you said to Candace, thinking ahead of your trip is a form of prep also, preparing for that. It made me think about Thanksgiving that's coming up. I have really been thinking, like, how am I going to get through that? Because I'm hosting this year, and don't get me wrong, I know I can get through it, but they come stay for like 2 nights, and they come like the night before, and I cook something the night before, which is usually a big pot of chili and some cornbread. Is what I usually make for everybody. And I started thinking, oh man, I can't have my chili, because I wouldn't be able to measure it because it's all mixed. And then it occurred to me, I can have my chili. I can skip the cornbread, but I can still have the chili and just prepare myself a batch for myself, like weighed out bowl for myself, and then a big pot for the rest of the family that's coming. So I've been thinking like ways to survive Thanksgiving without, I even like for the first time since being on this plan, I guess this is kind of like, a confession a little bit, but my sister was like, can you pick up a blueberry pie? Because they love the blueberry pie that I used to get every year. And I thought, oh boy, maybe I could just have a bite of blueberry pie. And that's the first time that I thought about cheating, and I just thought, no, can't do that. I can't do that, because then I'll be right back where I started.
Yeah. You don't do that. Instead of I can't do that, you just
I
don't do
I really
that.
don't want to,
Yeah.
but
It's
I
just
figured if I don't throw it
risk.
out there, that I'm a little. If I don't throw it out there, that I'm a little
Yeah.
concerned about it.
Yeah.
Because this will be my first holiday on this plan.
Yep.
And I know, it won't be hard, because I know I can weigh the turkey. I can eat most of the stuff. I can cook. I'll cook green beans. I can weigh the green bean. I can weigh my food out. It'll be fine. But I was kind of surprised when I was thinking, oh, maybe I could just have a bite of pie. And I was like, no, can't do it.
Well, you know what the thing is? The thing
Won't
is,
do
is
it.
that, yeah, no, you won't do it. And the thing is that, maybe you could have a bite of pie and it wouldn't trouble you. Maybe I could. I don't know. I don't want to play. I don't want to play Russian roulette. You know what I mean? So let me ask you something. Do you host every year?
No, one of my sisters and I, since my mom used to, but she's not here anymore. So one of my sisters and I, we rotate at our houses.
Yeah.
My sister in Massachusetts, and then, so it's my year. So I'm actually going to be booking it back from Quartzsite. I'm going to be like flying home to.
Oh my gosh.
It's Thanksgiving, yeah.
You don't think that maybe you could just maybe have her do it this year?
I wish. I have.
And what do you do? Do you take turns on Christmas too?
Christmas, we've been doing different things every year, kind of. So it's been different, but Thanksgiving's pretty much been every year we just rotate. I should have just told her, do it yourself, because I would have liked to have stayed out west longer.
Yeah, how many, is it just you and your sister, or is it a lot of other family?
No, there's going to be like 8 people.
So you want to host it. Do you want to host it, or do you want to stay west for a while?
Well, yeah, I mean, I do enjoy being with my family.
Yes.
I enjoy spending time with my family. It's just the timing's not really great.
Yeah. Because I guess what I'm getting at is like, sometimes things change, and perhaps hosting big family holidays is maybe not going to be a thing anymore. I made some changes. I'll still host, but we're getting takeout because I don't need to be cooking all that stuff and trying to figure out what everybody wants and what everybody eats. I want to figure out what I want, what I need, and then I'm very generously get a very nice display. Like I just thought, like the night before, so now you got all that chili to cook and all that, and you're rushing home from the desert. I'm just thinking, like, even if you just don't rush home for the desert, and then maybe just make things a little bit easier for yourself for the meal, or like maybe go to your sister's. That would make it a little bit easier. Then you could still be with your family, But not that I'm suggesting you dump it on her, unless she enjoys it. Does she enjoy doing it?
She does, but I think she kind of did want me to do it this year. Yeah.
Because like the night before, like maybe does it have to be the chili? Can you just maybe do some takeout?
No, it doesn't actually. I was thinking like maybe I could do like a pot roast.
Yeah.
Because we can eat that if we measure it, right?
Yeah, but all that cooking in one night and then all cooking for the next day, that's a lot of. You're gonna have to be home. You're gonna have to be home a week early just to do all that.
No.
Just to shop, make your lists, and oh my gosh.
I know. But that's all I really just wanted to throw out there. Maybe between now and then, maybe we can. Some of us can share how we survive the holidays. Not even just Thanksgiving. It's the whole holiday season is tons of like food and stuff and parties.
All right, so that's kind of a different subject. Like what I'm kind of seeing is just like this kind of like this confusion and rushing home and all that. Anyway, but as far as the holiday season, I've had 10 of them so far, and no Christmases have ever been more merry than the ones that I've had recently. And the Thanksgivings, I've just been so grateful. I've never was grateful on Thanksgiving. I was stuffed on Thanksgiving. And it's just not an option. That's all. It's like everywhere else that people are eating things that I don't eat. It's no different just because it's a holiday. The best holiday gift you can give yourself is just stay on track, and you'll get through the first holidays. There's plenty of people here that have already been through a holiday season, or maybe two, and it's the first roll around. It's definitely odd. It's definitely odd when it's just family and food and love. It's all kind of wrapped together like a little package, and it's just like you just separate all that out, separate it all out, and just enjoy the family, love yourself, and the food's right here to just nourish you like it does every day. When it's a holiday, I don't even try to make myself something special. Every day it's special. I just make the same salad, same big ass salad for Christmas dinner. Same thing. It's not like, oh, it's Christmas, I'm going to get whatever, I'm going to put this in it instead. Because whatever that is, I'll put it, if it's that special, I'll have it all the time. Or other times, So you just decide, and then you do it, And if it's, I don't think that you'll be tempted. I think you'll be maybe just feeling like maybe left out, or just that it just feels odd. And if you feel that, just know that it's normal. It's totally normal. and then you'll just see. I just remember the first Thanksgiving, I was like, wow, this day is like not going to be all about food. That's going to be really strange, you know. And because that's like, what else is Thanksgiving? It's just it's nothing but food. And then like after you're stuffed up to here, what happens later on in the night? All the leftovers come out and everyone's eating it all again. You know, it's just like it's like a food frenzy.
I think it's good too that you're pre-thinking about it, you know, because it is coming. The holidays are coming, and yeah, when you were saying survive the holidays, it can feel like that in the very beginning, but now it's really like thriving through the holidays. Like the holidays don't stop me from like making, you know, this my priority because it gives me my health. So I just sort of feel like now I do workarounds. Like I have prep for my family and I have prep for me. But in the beginning, you know, I would watch Lulu's videos, and Lulu, you would say something along the lines of, you know, people just ask me, you know, you're not gonna have that on the holidays, you know, like, and you said something along the lines of, is that what the holidays really mean? Is I eat this food, or I eat food that harms me? Is that very holiday? You know, is that no? And so it's funny because, you know, we're so programmed, like we must have these things at the holidays our whole lives because, you know, that's traditions and things like that, but it's making a new tradition that actually saves your life, you know, your health. And so.
And then when the new year comes, you know, when the holidays are behind you, when it's Happy New Year, you've got no New Year's resolution. Oh, I'm going to get back on the plan. Because, yeah, good luck with that, you know. When it goes, sometimes it goes for a while. You know?
Yeah.
Because I was doing this once before, like in my 40s, and I let it go after 3 years. And I didn't get it back for about a dozen years.
Another what?
About a dozen years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Took me quite a while to get it back, over a decade, that I got it back again. And it just, I would have never guessed it. I would have thought that I wasn't, that's not the way it was going to go, but it did. And I just believe it's going to go that way again. So I don't want the one bite of blueberry pie. It's not even like, and then what? So you take the bite of the blueberry pie and you go, oh, this is delicious. And then you swallow it. And then what? Now you're happy? No, you're probably going to be frustrated. Like, well, that was a freaking tease.
Yeah.
You know? It's
I don't want the ice cream.
I don't want a bite of pie. I want a pie. I don't want a bite of pie. Who wants that? What good foodie wants a bite of pie and says, that will make me happy? You know, it's not going to make you happy. And you know, if that's not, happiness isn't in the bowl, in the plate. You know, it's what comes in between the meals that you're eating well, taking good care of yourself, and in between, that's where you're going to find all your happiness. You know.
I'm glad you brought it up, Kate.
Yeah, and we'll have plenty of time to talk about it. Plus, go back to like last year around this time, because I think there's videos of this meeting that are specific to holidays. There's one about Halloween, and there's one about Thanksgiving, and there's one about surviving Thanksgiving, right? Don't we have those?
There's a few of them. Yeah, there's a few of them.
Okay.
So go check those out. Check those out.
And
Thank you, guys.
We can talk about it again. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll probably do, you know, we'll jump off of our rotation subjects that we talk here when the holidays do come around, and we'll jump on and do specific ones for holidays, you know, so we can kind of all share, because you know,
good idea.
You can make it through a holiday. You've got the holiday right. I'm just telling you. It's just like,
thank you.
Nothing is better than just sticking to the plan, because it feels too good to. It's not a gift. It's not a gift to treat myself for a day. If I'm going to really treat myself, I'm going to take really good care of myself. Maybe treat myself. I'll go for a facial or something. Not a bite of pie. You know. Yeah.
I think what's hard is sometimes, well, some people in our world, our families, they can just have a bite of pie and be happy with that. And I ask myself, have I ever been the kind of person who just wants a bite of pie or a tiny piece of fudge or whatever it is And the answer is no. I want a whole bunch and I want to have it the next day, and then there I'm gone. So, if I were the kind of person who could have handled it and had it in moderation, I never would have weighed 312 pounds. So I just know me, that I don't want to tempt, I don't want to test it out or tempt fate. It's not worth it. So,
and you don't want to get those cravings back too, because then you're going to get the damn
cravings
cravings
your
back.
Guts out. Yeah.
It's kind of like, being an ex-smoker and you're just saying, I'm going to have one cigarette. One cigarette, you've just put that nicotine back in your body. You're done. You're done, because now you're just going to be craving it. So you're either not going to have it and you're going to go out of your mind because you're craving it, or you're going to just cave and have it, So it's either way, it's misery for, somebody that's just really addicted, like addicted to sugar or addicted to nicotine or addicted to alcohol. It's just like, it's kind of hard to get out once you get back in it. It just doesn't take much to start all those cravings up again. I don't want to crave it, like physically crave it. I think in your head you want a piece of pie. I don't think you're physically craving that, but I don't know if you remember those physical cravings where like you can't not have it. You can't not have it because you're craving it, so you're out there at the store at 3 o'clock in the morning getting a half a gallon of ice cream because you have to have it, or you're at the bakery or whatever, and just got to get rid of those cravings and then just try not to get them back. That's the key.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Okay, next we have Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hello. Well, this is a really good topic for me because this last week I kind of failed on appropriate food prep, and it made me realize that what I had to do to make sure, because I have my camper van in Wisconsin, and I kind of, because of different things going on, I kind of decide a week ahead of time where I'm going to be the next week with what friend or what place. And this last week, I was in a lovely place, but I just didn't realize that I didn't have enough. And so it just made it more difficult. And I thought, and so I've been thinking about, okay, so how can I do that better, And I think what some people have been saying about preparing, because I have a pretty decent sized little fridge in my camper, in my van, but, and I have now a lot of Brilliance containers, which I love, because I fit them in, I got them and I just fit them in exactly how they fit. And then I know these are the containers I'm using because they'll fit. But I think what I've found to do is to prep some vegetables, like you were saying, to prep some vegetables ahead of time, and just to cut 2 or 3 days ahead of time, even when I'm out camping, because sometimes I just don't have a lot of time to do it that day, depending on, because I'm not camping, I'm in friends' driveways and doing different things that I have to do in Wisconsin. So I just have been thinking about it a lot in the last couple of days because of going to make a meal and thinking, okay, I forgot I'm all out of dried fruit, or I'm all out of something. And so then I think it's just so helpful to have that store. You have the dried fruit. I did, Nicole, eat a couple cans of green beans in a pinch, and I thought, okay, I'm going to find something else, because I like string beans, but I really don't like green beans. So anyway, I just think that for when I'm camping, just having 2 or 3 days stuff ahead of time and having the staples, having some oatmeal. What I love is I forget how to pronounce the name, but those rice cakes are Lundgrens they make thin cracker rice cakes. They are like thinner, and they're crackers, but they're the same thing. And I really like those because then I can put toppings on them, and I don't have so much rice cake in proportion to the toppings. And so then I just have double the number of crackers with whatever. And those I have. But I think what I run out of what I have to think through of how to get enough of is like protein. Because, you know, I have peanut butter and I have cheese, but I don't want to eat a lot of cheese. But anyway, so then the other thing is I went into a hospital for 2 days this week for a test. And that was interesting. But I managed to I managed to stay on the plan with the food they had at the hospital, but I couldn't weigh anything. But I just was so glad because a year ago I went in for a test and I just remember getting anything off the menu. And now I was able to go, okay, there's a vegetable and there's a protein. And I just felt really good that I found a way, even if it wasn't eating as much as I should be eating, I've still found a way to stay on the plan, you know, while I was there. So that was good. But,
Good.
you know, anyway, so it's not a big success as far this last week as far as prep, but I'm just thinking about it so much more. I never thought about, you know, I never thought about what I was putting in my mouth. I never thought about all of this stuff. And now I'm like, okay, that didn't work so well. So I'm going to go back to doing it this way so that I can actually, you know, have an easier time of it. And so I just really appreciate everybody's ideas and also just the whole system, because it just, like I had said once before, it makes me so intentional. And I realize when, oh, that didn't work. So I have to go back to this. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
Good, Joe. You know, when you were talking about protein, like having protein, the way that you had those cans of green beans available for you when you were short on a veg, even with get some cans of beans, get cans of tuna fish, cans of salmon.
I know.
Canned salmon is good.
I do like tuna a lot, so I have tuna, and I like beans that I prep. I'm not a real big bean person, so that makes, but I did like lentils, but then I have to cook them. So maybe just cooking some more lentils ahead of time.
You can get canned lentils.
Really? I didn't even know.
I've seen them at Whole Foods. You just got to kind of drain them and rinse them. Or you can get the garbanzo beans or kidney beans, navy beans, you know, and just rinse them, and they have 6 ounces in a salad, you know.
But I'll look for those lentil beans, because I never thought I liked lentils either. I was kind of putting it all together with the only beans I thought I ever liked was black beans. But also then I like the idea, what you were, you know, of having more soups, because I like soups. I can eat even broccoli really happily in soup. So maybe I should do that with beans, you know, make some bean soup ahead of time, so I have something like that.
Just measure everything out.
But I'll look for those lentils,
Yeah, I know I've seen canned lentils before. Has anybody else seen them? Yeah? Yes, okay, yeah. Just make sure I wasn't imagining. Yeah,
I was just going to say too, the Lundberg thin rice cakes are called stackers. I just didn't want anyone to be confused by the word crackers.
I thought it was in, I have some, but I'm not by my van yet.
And they're delicious, and they're called stackers, and I've done the math, and you can have 8 of those little rice cake stackers to 3 full size. Yeah.
Because I thought these were, it says thin right on it, but anyway, they come in a box. They come in a box. For me, it's just so much better to have, you know, more topping than rice cake. I know this is a subject for another time, but I just want to report that when I'm at people's houses and they say, oh, here's some fruit, oh, but it has syrup in it, they'll say to me. They know that I'm not doing sugar, and they know that I'm not doing flour, and they don't criticize me for it. It's just they're more aware, oh, no, you won't want that, you know. So that's kind of cool, too.
Yep, no syrups.
Thanks, Joe. Okay, let's finish with Cynthia.
Hey, Cynthia.
This is a favorite subject of mine as well, and I just want to share one thing real quick, because I guess you guys probably want to wrap it up. One of the gadgets that I love for prepping is my salad spinner. Does anybody have a salad spinner? I mean, it is amazing. Yeah. It's a bowl with a bowl inside. You put your greens in there and you wash them. And the whole idea is once you spin them, you get all the water off of them. And then I, put my greens like romaine lettuce or whatever it is, put it in a bag and put it in the refrigerator. It will stay fresh for like a week, and then I usually do 2 heads at once. And then we just use that all week long and it holds up beautifully. It doesn't get rotten. Nothing happens to it. So that was just my little tip that I wanted to share.
Oh, good. Thank you, Cynthia.